Hi, welcome to the next episode of What the Future. Today again with the two founders of HRForecast, and our topic today will be how do ideas emerge here in the company. And I guess not only me will be very interested in hearing how ideas emerge here. So can you tell us?
Well, I guess there are many ways that they emerge. You cannot really plan it, but kind of trying to structuring how they have emerged in the past. I think it brings us down to a few options. One of them, which I would like to talk about, is getting ideas from individuals. So sometimes it's just one person or maybe two people that will come up with an idea. One very precise example, which actually resulted in a product that has been traveling around the world for the last 2 years. So it's the development of our virtual reality glasses. So we never really had any touch points with virtual reality technology, but then we had this really, really amazing project with a client and the board member of this company. They wanted to impress everybody, so they said, let's not do a PowerPoint presentation, but instead try something fancy. So we thought about tablets, we created a small app. It's nice, but then the person said, oh, what about this virtual reality? And then actually that's how it got started. So we developed a tool, how you can share screens in the virtual room, and everybody who picks up these glasses and wears them, they're, for a lot of people it's the first time, and especially in a business background, and then they're amazed, and just by talking to people, showing it at events all across the world, we've come up with cool ideas how to make it better. It's a very, very interesting story in my opinion, and very simple how it got started, and yeah, it's a product now.
And I guess also taking the next step to see, since we're working in different locations, so we have the issue of collaborating, as in you have complex data to look into. So the next challenge was to say, how can we get multiple people from multiple locations into one room in one of these virtual rooms, because you have way more possibilities. And I guess that was your humble initiative.
Yeah, it's hard to keep silent because it's like, who could that employee be, right?
So yeah, Chris, you came up with the idea on getting multiple people into one room with avatars, where you can actually talk, interact, and have access to the data, and taking that then to the next level. So that was, I guess, an outside in. Someone gave us the initial topic, and then you know best how you came up with the next topics. I guess that was from inside, from our internal need. Taking it to the next level and developing new features.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing was that actually here in the company, you can just bring something in, right? So you have one kind of problem that the board members or whatever, they want to see something new. And I guess in a lot of companies, you cannot just say, hey, there's this VR. Why not do that? That could be something very great. And but here we can. And as we all know, I mean, it was a huge success. So everyone liked it because it was something new. And it was a pretty good experience especially for me personally as an employee, but I guess also for the board members, because it was just something pretty new. And as you know, they were very, very happy, and the experience was very great. So perfect.
And I guess key for us is, since we're a small company, without innovation we die. Big companies, they have an asset of being big, having a certain name, etc. We are small. Without innovation we cannot thrive, and that's why we have the culture and encourage it, that everyone should innovate and come up with new ideas, even though they might not be realized at the end of the day. But if you have 100 ideas, 2% of them manage to do it, then that's perfect.
But I guess so we have the outside insights, which is one thing that could work for new ideas, but not everything comes just from one idea from one employee, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, we have several other ways, but what do you think are the next most efficient ways on how we create our ideas?
Well, another big topic is, I guess, cooperating with big companies, because we don't necessarily always know which things they need, what challenges they have. So we have dedicated companies that we are in close collaboration with, where we think about what's the next idea, what are the new challenges, can we solve something with data or the assets that we have here, and then having this interactive way of finding a new solution, taking it to the next level? Does it solve other challenges? Does it open new opportunities? That's, I guess, cooperation with company, one of the big second assets that we have.
Mm-hmm. And this only works if it's a win-win situation for both, right? So for us, it's a way to be, we received the trust of a big corporate to develop things. So for us, of course, it means work, right? And also it means new ideas we can then spread to everybody else. And for them, it's also a huge advantage because they can be the first ones to have access to the technology. Of course, for them, it's also, I hope at least, financially a good thing in terms of paying very little for the technology. Because if they do it themselves, it's probably much more expensive with all the processes they have. And this kind of, it's like working, with some of these companies, it's more like a friendship, a partnership, and it doesn't feel like a client really, and this is how it makes a win-win situation.
Mm. Yeah. So for most of the clients, actually, when you have those win-win situations and you work together on one project and develop one thing, I guess that boosts actually the connection to the client a lot, right? Mm. And therefore you get new input, and everyone tends to want to improve more of the product, etc. So I guess this is where the huge beneficial and the
collaboration is really key.
Yeah.
Everyone on their own is okay, but the more people you have, the more ideas you get into, the more different domains of knowledge you combine, be it technical knowledge, being domain knowledge, etc. And the more you collaborate, the better the ideas get and the better the solutions get at the end of the day.
True.
We had this other thing that we now do repeatedly because it was such a big success. We decided, because we have these two locations in Munich and in Bremen, right, internally with our company.
Also in Kiev.
And also now in Kiev since September of last year. So what we have done in the past is at least once per year, but usually twice per year, we try to get everybody to some very remote location somewhere. Once it was in the Alps, once it was on the sea. So and sometimes we're in the middle of Germany. So everybody can talk personally to the people because we are a very remote working company usually with all the cross teams, virtual teams. So at some point in time, we decided let's invite some of our clients so they can also learn how we work together, since we work in a very agile way and they kind of want to grasp the atmosphere. And this in the end turned out to be so hugely, immensely successful because we had different clients there from different industries. We had us, we had our inputs from everybody, and we just sat in the garden. We were lucky with the weather usually, and
most of the time at least.
So it was a nice atmosphere. We were barbecuing together, not like the typical hotels where you go to. Also the clothing was very, very, very easygoing, startup style. And we cooked together and we just collaborated, and at the end of these so-called getaway weekends or getaway weeks, how we call them, really good ideas come out, emerge, and people get to know other colleagues from different industries, and it's again like this cooperation, making friends.
Also we choose specific settings where very often you don't have mobile phone coverage, where you have an awful internet connection, where people in the morning got up, walked 200 meters to get mobile phone connections
up the hill,
which is also good because we're living in such a connected world, and here we are constantly in touch and have to deliver things, take things to the next level, and slowing everything down, like a cyber detox, basically, where you can open your mind for new ideas.
So basically, here again we have, since for the getaway weekends, we were normal clothes, like casual clothes, and everyone, the atmosphere is very like friendly, etc.
We even share the rooms.
Well, in the
we even share the rooms, exactly.
Sometimes 5-6 people in one room.
Yeah.
Well, as we can see in the office, we have very formal clothes. So
yeah, exactly. So I'm wearing my suit. So today is a casual day. Casual weekday is today. But what I want to say was that I guess a huge point of all the emerging ideas is a very close connection with all the people that you're working together, right? Be it your internal employees or be it external clients, etc. I think for me personally, that is one thing which gives a huge benefit, because it's way easier on a getaway weekend to talk to a client if you're not in your company with a dress, like a suit or anything, but you're out in the wilds sitting together and just freely brainstorming and getting things.
I guess essentially is getting away from the classical things, how we describe things, client, customer, etc. I think it's more like a community, where ideas strive, where ideas are taken to the next level. And I think this is something that we have very often in our minds, and particularly in European culture that I see. There are other cultures like the US, they have a different mindset. They already have this community spirit and taking things in a collaborative manner to the next level. And I guess one thing that we also profit very much from is external knowledge, where we take knowledge from a different field and project it onto us. So for instance, the external data that we're gathering, where we're using crawlers, something that Google does, we take data from all of the internet and then use that data to create insights for our data. So for instance, who's working on that?
We have a bunch of people, but for example, Ray is working on it.
So, Ray? So we were just talking about maybe what's your background?
There you go.
Let's start with that because we were just talking about taking knowledge from a different field and projecting that onto something totally different in that case for you. So what's your background?
Actually, I did my PhD in France, and during my PhD, my work was material science. So
physics.
Physics. Yeah. I'm using an algorithm to design and search for new materials based on material data, and now changed totally to the human resource domain. Yeah.
And how did that work? That you used something from physics and now applied it to?
Actually, the data is totally different from human resource and material science, but the mathematics, statistic, or even machine learning models in the below is the same thing. So for me, I'm familiar with this mathematics and statistics, so I can use the knowledge from that domain and apply it on our data, then make our things that more smart or automatic.
And what you've done is taking this billions of external data, understanding how knowledge is actually connected, and based on that,
basically we have a large amount of job description from different resource, external resource, and use this large volume of data, we create we call it a skill cloud. Then we explore the relation between different skills, and with this skill cloud we can do a lot of things. We can do recommendation. For example, we recommend the job for candidates, or recommend candidate to jobs. So it's based on our skill cloud. Then
or the kind of challenge that we have as economies, transforming to the next level, recommending people what skills are future oriented, what would help you to develop new knowledge that will be required in a couple of years.
Yes.
That's, I guess, another application of the things where really help to get the knowledge, from completely different area, material science, HR, right?
Also, a Chinese origin, studying in France, PhD in physics, and now working in HR.
And now in Bremen.
That's pretty cool.
As diverse as it gets, right?
I add the diversity.
Diverse information.
All right, perfect.
Thanks.
I mean, thanks for having us. So, perfect. I guess.
Well, I guess there are loads of ways on how you can gather ideas. I think the main thing is that you understand innovation as the core of you. And collaborations, as you said, and of course having then the right knowledge to get it together and bring it together.
And also that it never stops, right? So we
can't stop, otherwise
exactly.
Just
if you stop, you lose.
Exactly.
I sometimes get the questions when we have interviews. So what's the plan for the company in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? It's the question I hate the most, because I don't know. It depends on who I talk to next. Maybe tomorrow I have a different plan, maybe in a year, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's being flexible. That you are also capable of shifting your focus and say, that's something that you pursue. And I guess that's the funnest thing to develop new ideas, take it to the next level. Otherwise, it would be boring.
Yeah. Right.
So I guess maybe we end this vlog with a good sentence from one of our employees that said, one day you're working on one thing, the next day you're working on another, and actually this sums up HRForecast perfectly, and also the ideas and emerging ideas. So thanks again for watching, and see you in the next vlog.